Hey Tim, how you going, man?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me again.
No worries, man. It's good to see you again. So I just want to quickly touch from last week when we had a bit of a chat. You said you had a bit of an issue with your upcoming game.
Yeah.
What was that? You feeling a bit nervous or?
Yeah, basically, I just don't know. I just felt
Yeah.
before the game, I just had a bit more. My nervous feelings, I guess, were a bit more prominent than normal.
Yeah.
Wasn't too sure. Like the game was no different to any other. It just felt like maybe there's a bit more pressure on me. Maybe. Not too sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So is this like a regular season game? Are you heading into finals or like,
Um.
what's going on?
So it's coming down to near the end of the season. So a lot of the games, every game counts, sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're sort of in between making finals and missing out. So I guess every game is crucial to our season. So we're going to want to keep focusing. I think it's just a lot of pressure on everyone a bit, but I'm just feeling a bit more than usual.
Yeah. So do you, like you said, you feel a lot of the pressure? Do you normally feel like that every game or?
Not usually, no.
Yeah.
I feel like just normal games, to me, I just try and go in with a clear head.
Yeah.
I don't try and put pressure on myself because I just feel like it hinders my performance.
Yeah.
So, but just, yeah, lately I just haven't been able to help it. Just been there.
So from that, then, can you think of a time where those nerves, that pre-game nerve, really got to you and maybe made you perform worse than your best?
Definitely. So last season there was we were in the finals,
Mm.
and so there was a lot of I felt there was a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of mixed emotions going into the game. So with that, it did affect me when I went onto the field because it was just very unusual for me. I normally try and keep a good, clear headspace.
Yeah.
And so I found myself making a few mistakes in the beginning of the match, and then from there I just sort of spiraled down because I just kept getting more frustrated and more emotions just coming in, more anxious feelings that I just kept messing up and
Yeah.
going to make us lose the game.
Yeah. So you mentioned that your feelings kept getting worse and worse, building up. What was different about that game to a normal regular season game?
Just the whole pressure that it was finals.
Yeah.
Like was it like it just is. It's a bigger deal. It's a lot more serious environment. Like we play on a neutral ground rather than at home. So for just a local footy club and never playing in those big games, it feels like exciting, but at the same time,
Yeah.
it's very nerve wracking. It's a lot of family comes out, and I just felt that it was a lot to take in, and with having just normal nerves for every game, it was very enhanced because of the finals, and I struggled with that a little bit. Yeah.
So would you say then, like with your family being there or your friends being there, that you know that level of performance may have felt would have let them down, or possibly just wanted to show them your best? Like, what's going on?
I definitely feel like just because in general I put a lot of pressure on myself. So with having extra people there,
Yeah.
and like I said, just the game in general,
Yeah.
I just didn't want to let anyone down. I wanted to show what I've got. I wanted to, I guess, prove
Yeah.
to everyone. Maybe I'm not too sure why I just felt that way, but it definitely was maybe just a lot to do with a lot of spectators, environment of the game, and just maybe just letting out my teammates. I wouldn't want to do that at all. So
No, that makes sense. You never want to let anyone down. During that game, then, if we're using this as an example, then how long does it take you to get over those nerves? What do you have to do to get yourself in that mindset?
I think that's one reason why I kept spiraling, and then more emotions kept building up. Because for me, normally, just for like a normal game, the nerves disappear once I touch the ball. First run, get hit, they're gone. No, it's a game of footy. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But this game, it was different. Like I took that first run, got tackled, and they just didn't go away. And I just felt it growing, and then that led to my first mistake. I dropped the ball, and then from there it was just became even stronger, and I just felt that
Mistakes, yeah.
I just couldn't get out of that rut that I was sitting in.
How long does that sit on you then usually?
Well, for that scenario, it did sit on me for the rest of the week. Like, so we ended up winning the game,
Yeah.
which was obviously awesome, but yeah, I didn't feel like I contributed to the team's win, and that sat on me. Yeah.
How did your team react?
They were fine. So that's why I thought I would walk into training
Yeah.
the next day and just get destroyed by coach, teammates for not helping. But I guess it was just one of those days where it's just Tim didn't perform up to his level, but to I guess them, they didn't believe it really hindered the team. Just for me though, I felt like it's due to my own head, and that I was worse than maybe what I actually was.
Yeah, it really just comes down to your own performance, and
Yeah.
you're holding yourself to such a high standard. You're feeling so accountable for your performance, and maybe it's not a big a deal as you think it is. It's been thrown out.
Well, yeah, I spoke to coach and he said yeah, you noticed my mistakes and it was out of different from how I normally play. I did different things, but they weren't too drastic that it was worthy of me not playing the next week, stuff like that. It was just my own imagination had just made it more than what it was.
I mean, if that's the time you performed poorly, in your opinion, what about sometimes where maybe that energy, that nervous energy you've taken and you've used it for something positive, or to have a really good game?
Well, last season, so it was against another local team, so there's always a big rivalry between the two.
Yeah.
And we had scouts coming to watch the game. And so learning that in the sheds before the game made everyone a bit more excited, because some people had already been signed into the local footy academy. I hadn't at that point, so it was, I wanted to prove what I could do. So I focused a lot more on maybe my own skills, and with that, I sort of worried, oh no, maybe I'm gonna just try and be a super, like a hero, and not actually play in a team. But I went into the game, and I feel like it's one of the best games I've had ever. Everything just clicked for me. I think and I played as a team. I didn't try and go for that sort of, I'm a superstar, sort of like that. I actually just had a good game within myself, and
No, it's good. So you're definitely a lot happier with your performance that time. Were the nerves any different before the game?
Maybe a little bit different, just because it was a different feeling playing in front of scouts. Like, that was a big deal, and having a dream of playing in the NRL, that's your first step taking it. So the nerves were a little bit different, but I tried to just, I guess, focus on the game rather than trying to impress, because I knew that I would have a bad performance there. So
it definitely sounds like you're a lot more excited this time around, rather than that high level finals footy. It's a lot more fear involved. So when you're digging through that, then how do you feel like you put yourself out there? Do you feel like you play like you're in someone else's body, or do you feel like you really have to play it smart?
I guess when I take the field, I just want to try and do everything I can to help the team win. So I try and just always play with my team rather than just play by myself. And I think, and because I have got a great bunch of boys to play on my team, I feel like they definitely help me. So I know they're always going to be there for me, whether it's I drop the ball, they're going to be there. They're not going to put me down. They're going to lift me up, and they're going to be like the first ones to say, all right, Tim, you've got next one, make up for it. So they're always there to help me get through it all.
No, it's good. Sounds like you really built up with a good support network of boys in your family. So leading to this game then on the weekend, how do you reckon you're going to handle it?
Well, going off last year's experiences and having the bad finals game, the way I got through it and was able to perform the next finals games, I just put it behind me. It was just one of those days. That's how I took it. It's not how I normally play. I know that. I know everyone else knows that. So that's how I'm going to approach this one. It's just another game.
Yeah, no, of course. With that then, have you ever felt like you held yourself back because of that? You were too afraid to maybe push forward and let yourself achieve something because you didn't want to fail?
Well, definitely. I guess maybe that might even been the last year's game. That could be the reason. Just I felt that there was just so much on the line that if I was to maybe take the ball and do something by myself rather than pass it, I felt like maybe that means that the mistake wouldn't have been put on me. But that's why I can think of plenty of situations where it was I made a silly mistake, or passing it too soon, or passing too late. Just all the little things where I felt like it was just my own anxiety thinking, oh, don't screw up. And it leads to a screw up because I just overthought it. I didn't think about the game.
You always got to put yourself in that position to fail, but knowing that that's not the end of the world. There's something past that. No, thanks for coming in, having a chat about everything. I feel like we've really made a lot of progress over the last couple of weeks, and that you've felt a lot more comfortable with me and yourself to open up and to really share those things. And just something for yourself is when you're moving into this game this weekend, is you can't let that anxiety take control of you. You have to, you know, do it yourself. You can't let it hold you back or, you know, put you off your game too much. Just find your own rhythm and move on with it. You know? Yeah, no, good. It's good to catch up with you, man.
Thank you. Thank you for seeing me. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.